The LV-426 is located in the star system Zeta Reticuli. It's a real star system. Why did the creators of the Alien movie choose her? Let's look at the facts. Zeta Reticuli is a binary star system in the constellation Reticulum, visible in the night sky from the southern hemisphere. The pair of stars of Zeta Reticuli should be south if you find yourself under the sky of the southern hemisphere in search of celestial objects. Zeta Reticuli can be clearly seen as a double star with the naked eye, provided you observe it under the right dark sky. The two stars Zeta 1 Reticuli and Zeta 2 Reticuli are located just over 39 light years from Earth and are at least 3,750 astronomical units apart, where 1 AU is the average distance between the Earth and the Sun. The stars rotate around their common center of gravity for a period likely to exceed 170,000 Earth years and is estimated to be between 1.5 and 3 billion years old. What makes these stars really interesting is that, relatively, they are very similar to our own Sun, which make them so-called solar analogs and interesting for astronomers who can compare them to the parent star of our solar system. Zeta 1 of the Reticula has a mass of approximately 96% of the mass of the Sun and a radius of about 92% of the radius of the Sun. Zeta 2 has a mass of approximately 99% and a radius of 99% of the Sun. Since the stars are similar to our Sun, if a planet like Earth were at the right distance in orbit around these stars, liquid water could accumulate on the surface of the planet, and conditions could be suitable for life as we know it. In 1996, astronomers announced that potentially existence of the so-called hot Jupiter exoplanet, a gas giant similar to Jupiter but much closer to its star than Jupiter is to the Sun, orbiting Zeta 2. Then, in 2007, infrared observations from the Spitzer telescope showed evidence of a dust disk of space debris around the star Zeta 2, the same type of disk from which planets could potentially form. But the likelihood of life on one of the planets of Zeta Reticuli is not the main reason why it can be included in the plot of a science fiction film. Zeta Reticuli is known among UFO enthusiasts as the home to the species of alien life that visited the Earth in the 1960s and kidnapped a married couple named Betty and Barney Hill. Of course, we shouldn't attach much importance to the stories of alien abductions that have emerged since the 1960s, but this is at least a curious chapter in Zeta Reticuli's story and an explanation of why the creators of Alien might have chosen this star system as the place of first human contact with alien life. An interesting aspect of Betty and Barney Hill's case is that they did not originally intend to make their own story known, but also that they were smart and respected members of both their community and the civil rights movement at the time. Therefore, they potentially had much to lose if their story ever became known. Their story begins on the night of September 19, 1961, when they were returning home to New Hemisphere after their honeymoon in Montreal, Canada. Traveling through the White Mountains of New Hemisphere, the couple claimed that they were followed by an unusual glowing body in the sky and that they could use the binoculars to observe that the strange light was actually a flying apparatus and they could observe non-human life forms through the windows of the apparatus. When they finally arrived home, the Hill family travel took several hours longer than it should have been, and they received minor injuries, cuts and tears on clothes and shoes. Barney Hill began to suffer from ulcers that a local doctor diagnosed as a result of stress, and eventually they sought help from Benjamin Simon, a well-known psychiatrist who treated World War II veterans from post traumatic stress. Under hypnosis, Betty and Barney began to tell their story, which detailed their kidnapping on board a strange spacecraft and conversations with aliens. Although Simon remained skeptical about the possibility of being visited by creatures from other planets, the psychiatrist later commented that Barney Hill experienced an extreme level of trauma similar to what he saw treating war veterans. The Hills initially did not want to make their story public, but it was discovered and by the New York Times journalist and became headlines around the world. Later, Betty drew a certain astronomical map, which has since become known as Betty Hill's star map, which she allegedly saw aboard the spacecraft, and which some claim shows that the mentioned aliens come from the star system Zeta Reticuli. Although the film Alien began filming 17 years after this story, it quite possibly could have influenced the choice of the star system in the film script.